You already know what we do, and you know what it is. Back again with them Hollywood trades. We are looking at the overall NASDAQ index right now. We had a few delays on making the updates, but this one is here now. We do have a very clean and clear price action happening in this coming into the year's end, and there are a few people asking about the overall market, and then I'm going to actually do a few particulars on this one. Not exactly sure what everyone's looking at, so I'm going to do Tesla, and I wanted to do PayPal as well because there's a guy talking about calls on PayPal. Very, very interesting. But the overall market is in its retracement mode. The retracement is very nice and neat. FVGs are being bearish, imbalances are being respected. This one didn't even get tapped into, and that happens when you have what they call a breakaway gap. And with the breakaway gap, you know for a fact that market is going to reprice up here again. It is definitely for sure. It didn't even wick into it at all whatsoever. So it's definitely going to become that breakaway that we will target much later, coming into the new year, actually. Because after that year candle opens, I'm just going to go into this one because we haven't done this. We haven't done this for a while. We are going to be testing and retesting. You could do the quarterly, but what you want to do on the yearly is something very simple. You want to see where that break happened at, and you'll see it. You'll see it here. Like how this on last year, this year did a very deep break and retest. So it broke these levels and then it came up here and closed and then it retested that. So that's what you want to expect. This year shouldn't even be that steep. This is a crazy retest compared to this year's retest is only from wherever we want to get as low as possible. So the retest isn't so crazy once that candle opens. You see when that candle opens, and that's usually what you'll see. But either way, I'm just looking at the daily right now. Don't have much time on this one. What I'm going to do is uh, mark your bearish candle, right? Or your bearish engulfing, you're going to mark your bullish candle. That's going to be where our resistance is for the next few days. And so right here, we have resistance. Right here, this whole range is resistance. Everything I have marked here is resistance zones. Until we get back above these zones, we do not go back bullish. All of these nodes right here, this point of control, this is the most orders zone, very level actually. And so once we get back above these, we can start thinking bullish. But right now we are bearish. This will even become a target, and we're actually looking. I drew this. This is low resistance. Anybody who's seen my charts knows what this means. Low resistance means there's not going to be a lot of fight here because none of these got checked for stops. So all these stops are just queued up right here. They're just lined up. It's like Tinder for a fire. It's C4 right there, pretty much in price action. When the price moves through here, it will just instantly want to grab all of these, unless you sweep one of these and you start seeing it close above highs on this side. We have no option. They made sure we had little to no option to close above highs going into next week. There's going to be little to no option to closing above highs unless we see a really crazy rally somewhere up in here. But I don't expect that. This markup is here. And there's no FEG here, but there is an untested order block. After we closed above this candle, it didn't quite test the orders inside of this candle, which are both of these lows as well. And so, yeah, there's just a lot of reason to think that we'll be able to get down there. Plus the yearly, right? So we've seen where the yearly retest is at. That yearly retest is at 22.1113 for this chart. And so 22 where we at 22,113, right? Looks like I did have that mark. Previous all-time high, previous yearly high. Yeah, there it is. That white line I just put there. So pretty much that's what we're looking at. And there's a lot of imbalance here, and it's the previous all-time high level anyway. So yeah, I think this is the whole zone. There is this magnet as well right here. When I put it here, I did expect it to actually hit it until it took off, and then we knew it wasn't going to hit it anymore. But same thing with this area, it took off, and we just knew we were going to just wait for it to break down again, and that's where all this stuff should be hit on the breakdown on the way to that yearly retest. And there's no imbalance here, and imbalance is really indicative that price will want to come and get that. If it's not an imbalance that price wants to come back for or needs to come back for, it'll be these lows and imbalance here. There's imbalance here. So we can grab a lot of orders, a lot of institutional orders down here. So that's the overall for the entire market. I want to look at NVIDIA because a lot of people are saying NVIDIA and it's actually mirroring somewhat of what we see. All of the charts will kind of mirror. I'm not going to mark these up too much, but pretty much all the charts are just going to mirror each other, the major charts at least, because that's what the value of the chart is. And so pretty much with that being said, we're going to be looking for a lot of these lows here to be tested and checked. So definitely we're just looking lower on everything. All of your bearish blocks, which are the bullish zones before the drop, your bearish order blocks are being highly respected right now. And so that will keep happening even here. All of these lows that get closed under are going to be sell levels. They're going to be selling at all these levels until that yearly retest. And so that's just pretty much what we're looking at. We can take out puts on the market for a while. There's going to be a Santa Claus rally that will retest a lot of the highs as well on the weeklies. On the way down, we will be testing highs before that happens as well. So there's going to be like we know, right? Fibonacci levels coming down. And there's going to be a retest, right? If we come down here, break this level, we're going to retest this on a weekly basis, right? A few candles down on the weekly, a few candles up on the weekly. Then we're going to go for that retest on everything as well. This area is going to support us for right now until it cracks. There's more imbalances down here. This is the real break and retest level here. As we see, it broke it kind of tested it a little bit, but it left some stuff behind. And that's very much fair game for anybody who's looking for a discount on any of these charts. And that's pretty much what we're looking at. I have to get off here and tend to something else before I have to tend to something else. So that's pretty much that. Here's Tesla. A lot of people looking at Tesla. Here's the break-in retest point on Tesla as well. Definitely, this is the weekly. So when you start looking at the pattern, sell zone, right? You hit your sell zone, you extend, and that's a price extension. We won't expect anything less coming from this area as well. And so that's pretty much what we're looking at on the market wide. Of course, you can go and look at the yearly break and retest on this, but once we have the overall NASDAQ and the indices, we can do a deeper indices study at a different time. Actually, no, that got disrespected altogether. So this is now an inversion in the chart. And this area is going to become a very interesting area. You see how price accelerated through this area here, here, and here. So we really will expect the same thing here as well. It's just there's a lot of orders where price can do its thing right there. There is a break and retest there as well. So that's pretty much that. I'm going to go ahead and ship that, and we're gonna do one more. What I wanted to do, I wanted to do the Apple. As we can see, also, they have been doing really well. All time high within the last few weeks. We're pretty much looking at all of this as support for Apple. I don't know how much lower Apple can go because they have a crazy support for Apple. Sorry about that. It's going crazy. But that's pretty much it. We're at 10 minutes now. We can pretty much see where the market is going. Apple is going to remain in this consolidation for a while within this range here. This range here for Apple is the retracement range. Uh, we will have to definitely be tentative on Apple to see anybody who's holding Apple. But there's the discount range. We could really get a nice discount on Apple as well here coming up. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much everything that I look at. I took all my Amazon position because Amazon was one of the first ones to really reach peak, really nice. I think we exit Amazon 243 or something, somewhere near the highs right here. And then we expect, right, this is the Amazon retracement range, but I think Amazon's definitely going to go to cover a lot of this gap fill as well during the retest on the yearly. So, yeah, we can see where everything's at. I mean, you wouldn't expect anything else after you start seeing stuff like this coming into the year. You'll see a couple bullish weeks. We might, if anybody's playing options, we'll have to stay tentative after the lows. You can pretty much put in a few calls here and there, probably target some weekly highs. But other than that, the bearish moves are what's going to really make you that return. And we'll see y'all next time. I'm gonna be doing, you guys know I do a lot of gold, so I'm gonna be doing Bitcoin as well. I haven't done Bitcoin. I finally got around to the indices just now, and the expectation of what I would have for the market in general. But we're gonna do Bitcoin crypto because we pretty much called all of this. This was a pretty easy break and retest on crypto, so we'll cover that next.